Yo, what's up, guys? It's gonna be quite a long video today, possibly. This video I'm doing Archetype Annals. I don't know how to pronounce that word, so forgive me. It's Annals. It's weird. People made the anal joke, whatever. Today we are starting the series off by doing a deck that by recently I mean today, just got nerfed. After it already hit. If you haven't guessed by now, it's definitely SPYrals. Let's go ahead and get to it. Before I do that, though, I will say I do have one more video planned for today. I'm doing another new series called Worst Card Names in Yu-Gi-Oh! Today we're going to start off with Totally Awesome. It's just so stupid. What we're going to be doing in that video is we're going to be discussing the card, saying some stuff about it, and those videos will probably be like 5 to 10 minutes video, in between 5-10 minute videos. So I'll definitely be doing a lot of those videos because there are a lot of stupid names in the TCG. Let's go ahead and get started with Archetype Annals. So we are doing SPYral today. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start off with the monsters. We're going to go ahead and start with SPYral Sleeper. So what does SPYral Sleeper do? It's a level 8 effects fiend monster that's light, 28 attack, 12 defense, cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned from your hand by banishing 3 SPYral cards from your grave, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can target 1 SPYral card you control, and up to 2 cards your opponent controls, destroy them. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle by card effect and sent to the graveyard, destroy as many cards as you control as possible, and if you do, special summon a Superagent from your hand, deck, or grave. So, the first thing you might notice about this card is that it has a weird type. It's a light fiend. Typing, not type, whatever. It has a weird type too, I guess. Fiend, that's a light fiend. That's really the only problem I have with this card. Other than that, this card is one of in literally any SPYral variant. This card is just too good. It's just really good. It's basically a Trident that can pop 2 cards at the cost of 1. Depending on what card you're popping, if you're popping any of the missions, it's actually really good. Because they get stuff in the grave next turn, they activate. So this is not the worst card. This is definitely not. This is probably one of the better cards in the deck. As you'll see, we're definitely gonna hit like 2 really crappy monsters that probably didn't need to be made. I mean, they're both pretty and cute, but they didn't need to be made. Anyway, moving on to the level 7. The queen herself, SPYral Master Plane. She's a level 8 7 dark spellcaster. Once for 1200 attack, 28 defense, which is literally opposite of SPYral Sleeper. So you'll notice that. Once per turn, you can add 1 SPYral mission from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent from the field to the grave, you can add a SPYral Resort and SPYral Monster from your deck to your hand. Except itself. You can only use this once per turn. So before the ban list, which came out today of this recording, this card is actually really good. You could search at least up to 3. You could technically you could search 3 times with it, just in case if you haven't seen your first resort. But this card is now not as strong. If you watch my ban list discussion, you'll understand why this card is no longer going to be played at 3. It might be played at 1 or 2, but I don't think it's going to see play at 3. In my rank 7 build, I am playing it at 3. In fact, I need to edit that deck because that deck just got a lot more ridiculous. It used to be not that big of a card, and then people saw its potential. Then they started playing 1, and now people are playing 3 before the ban list, and now they're probably going to go back to 1 or 2. Depending on what variant you're trying to go for, I would play 1 or 2. If you're going for like I am rank 7 spam, with the Spiral Engine thrown in, I would say play 3 because you could play Dark Magic Veil and just special this from the hand or grave at the cost of 1,000, and this makes great. And if you haven't seen your resort by then, you can just search for a mission and then find a way to get off the field or wait till it gets destroyed, and then search for your 2 cards. So yeah, that's a really cool play with this card. Moving on though, Spiral Tough. This is one of the coolest looking arts in this archetype. It's a level 4 warrior wind with 1900 attack and 1500 defense. This card's name becomes Superagent while it is on the field or in the grave. Once per turn, you can declare 1 card type monster spell trap and target 1 card your opponent controls. Reveal the top card of your opponent's deck, and if you do, destroy the targeted card if the revealed card is the declared type. What you'll notice with half these cards is they're actually really good. There's really only 3 bad cards in this deck. 2 definitely bad. 1 possibly playable. This card is not one of those. Obviously, this card's a really good card. You're usually going to play 1 or 2 in this deck because Superagent is actually your best search for Rhoda. And for Resort, well, you're not going to search this with Resort unless you already have an Agent and Drone and Quick Fits. If you have all that, you probably have Game anyway. But yeah, this is a really good card. Its Wind attribute is kind of weird to me, but its typing, other than that, is fine. This is literally Superagent, but I guess disguised or doing something else in mission. I don't know the lore of this deck. But yeah, this is a really good card. I would say 1 or 2, but if you're trying to go for like tough control, which is a thing, you definitely have to play 3. But yeah, moving on to probably the most expensive card in the deck still, Superagent. It's a level 4 Earth Warrior, 1900 attack, 1200 defense. If this card is in your hand, you can declare 1 card type, monster spell or trap. Reveal the top card of your opponent's deck, and if you do, special summon this card if it is a card of that type. This card is special summoned by the effect of a Spiral card, including itself, by the way. You can target 1 spell trap card your opponent controls, destroy it. You can only use each effect once per turn. This card is probably the first card you're going to search. This is the card you're going to search Rhoda for if you don't already have it. If you already have it and you have a Resort, you could technically search for Tough in this again and have 2 of each. But you're definitely not going to search Tough with Rhoda. This is definitely going to be your first choice. But yeah, this card is just the thing that gets everything started. Quick Fits and Drone help like get the tools and information you need to start your combo plays. Start your combo plays with these 3 cards. Well, these 2 cards. Mainly Sleeper, honestly, but it's mainly these 4 cards because these are the ones. Because you are able to get this off if you're playing double summon, which we'll go over these in a few minutes. Then you can just normal summon this again and then make a rank 4, make double helix, or have a level 4 with a double helix and possibly make this. Or you can go ahead and do this, pop 2. This deck is just really consistent before the ban list today, and it's still probably going to be consistent. It's just that it's going to be doing spoiler alert with 1 Resort. So people will learn how to play around that and still make this deck viable, I'm sure. But until we have an event that someone tries to do this, we won't know the deck list. Alright, so now here's one of the 3 cards that are bad. Now I'm air quoting this one because this one's actually not super bad. It's just not a Spiral. It's a Spy Gal. It's a level 4 Dark Spellcaster with 15 attack, 16 defense. If this card is normal and special summon, you can declare 1 card type, monster spell trap, reveal it, and your opponent's deck, and if you do, draw a card if it's that type. Once per turn into the player's turn, you can target 1 Superagent you control and 1 monster your opponent controls, and return both to the hand. So it is a good card objectively, like physically it's a good card. It's just not a Spiral, and that's what keeps it from being played. I feel like if this was a Spiral, it would be played alongside Superagent at 3, maybe? It's definitely, its Kieran effect is really good. Its draw effect is really good. It's a pretty card. It's just bogged down by the fact that it's a Spy Gal and SPYrals. So, yeah, there's nothing really much to say about this other than it's just bogged down by Spy Gal. Spiral Gear Last Resort. This is the equip, and I'm air quoting again because it's a monster, but it's an equipped card basically. Level 4 Earth Machine, 1000, 1000. You can target one Spiral monster you control, equip that monster to this. Equip this monster from your hand to the field to that target. While this card is equipped, while this monster is equipped to a monster by this effect, the equipped monster cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Also, your opponent cannot target with card effects. Once per turn, if this card is equipped to a monster by this effect, you can send one other card you control. The equipped monster can attack directly this turn. This card's really good. Well, I don't want to say really good. You only play one of this because it's searchable. If you draw into it, it's kind of sucky. But it is a good one of. You can search it with. You can search it with Resort, and I think you could search it with Spiral Master Plan. No. You can only search it with Resort as far as if I remember. But yeah, it's a. Oh yeah, you can search it with Quick Fits and Resort. But yeah, this is, whoops. It's a really good one of, you're going to equip it most of the time to a sleeper. If you don't have a sleeper, you're going to do it to Superagent. Sleeper Agent. That'd be kind of cool. Superagent. So, yeah. Anyway, we're moving on to what I think is probably the worst card not the worst card in the, second worst card in the deck. Charming Resort Staff. It's not even Archetype, because it's not even a Spiral, it's not even a Spy Gal. It's a level 3 fairy, light, 300 attack, 200 defense. Typing is fine, I guess. Its attack is kind of bad for level 3. Its artwork is cool, it's pretty, she's cute. But its effect is kind of decent. When an attack is declared involving a Spiral Superagent you control, and an opponent's face-up monster, you can change the attack of that monster to 0. This card is destroyed by battle by card effect. You can special one Spiral Superagent from your deck. If a Spiral Superagent you control is destroyed while battle or sent to the graveyard while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card from the grave. Return a Superagent from the grave to the hand. This card does have some utility. You can spit out a Superagent with this card, and you can return one to your. You can basically Dagusto Emirate back to your hand or add it back to your hand. I was playtesting one in my build, but I found 2 would be a little bit better. But then I decided to cut it out completely. The problem with this card is you draw it up in your hand, you're just going to set and then hope your opponent destroys it. Most of the time they will, but sometimes they can banish or spin it back. If this does get destroyed, it does give you a special Superagent, and it does give you a spell trap pop, which is good. And then this card does get you the agent back that is destroyed, possibly, or another one that you have. So this is not a bad card objectively, the worst card in the deck, but it's definitely not played, because it's not even searchable. If this was searchable, it'd probably be played at 1 or 2. I would say 1 just because it is a level 3 in light. But it's not, so again, with the Spy Gal problem, they kind of cheap the women out in this deck, the girls in this deck, because neither one of them is Spirals. They're both good effects, they're just bad cards because they're not Spirals, but if they were both Spirals, these cards would be seeing play right now. Moving on to Quick Fits, this card is well known by everybody. It's a level 1 machine, Earth, 500, 400. It used to be machine dupable, and then it got limited, obviously, as you can tell, but if this card is normal summoned or special summoned, you can add a Spiral Gear card from your deck to your hand. If this card is in your grave and you control Superagent, you can discard a card, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Yeah, I don't really have to discuss this a lot because most people already know how good it is. You literally search for Big Red or Last Resort or just really good stuff. This deck is so consistent because of this. Back when Machine Dupe was a thing to this card when it was at 3, this card was just ridiculous. And then Konami was like, alright, enough fun, and then it deserves to be at 1. But I feel like this could have probably been banned and said, but it's okay at 1. It gets the deck still playable. Number one, well, the last monster is Spiral Gear Drone. It's a level 1 win the machine 100/100. If this card is normal or special summon, you can look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck, place them on either top of the bottom, top on the deck in any order. During either person's turn, you can tribute this card. Target one spiral monster you control. It gains 500 attack for each card your opponent controls. You can banish this card and one spiral card from your grave, then add a Superagent in your grave, add it to your hand. So it has the same adding effect, kinda like Charming Resort Staff. It has, its first effect is ridiculous with Superagent in hand, or a way to search Superagent. It's just really good. I mean, that's a free double helix, and double helix is like one of the best links that have been printed so far. This card is just absolutely bonkers, and it's not really insane, but I don't think it deserved to be at 1. I think this could have been at 3, and Superagent could have gone to 1, but instead they hit this to 1, and Superagent got kept at 3. So this card is actually pretty good. I would definitely play one of each. I would definitely at least play these, because if you don't play quick fits, you're just bad or trying to give yourself a challenge. Anyway, moving on to the spells, and we're at 16.5 minutes already. Jesus. Spiral Mission Assault. It's a continuous spell. Destroy this card during your third end phase after this card's activation. Once per turn, if a spiral monster you control destroys a monster by battle on the field with the spiral monster's effect, you can draw 1 card. That's pretty decent, okay, I guess. You're not really going to use it for that effect. You're usually going to use it for you can banish this card from the graveyard, special spiral monster from your hand. That works with Master Plan if you have one of these in your hand and not a way to special summon it, like Dark Veil Magic. Yeah, and it can special summon Agent, which gets a fat. It summons the 2 level 1s. It cannot special summon Sleeper, but it can special summon literally Agent, Tough, Master Plan, and the 2 level 1s. 2 of, this is definitely like a 2 of, and the Trap is a 1 of. Rescue, but we'll get to that in a second. Big Red. That's what they used to call me in high school, because I'm a redhead. Anyway, it's an equipped spell that is pretty decent. Activate this card by targeting 1 spiral card monster in your grave. Special summon it, and if you do, equip this card to it. It cannot be destroyed by battle. You can only activate this card once per turn. It's a hard lock. It's a hard once per turn, so no using 2 or 3 of these in 1 turn. Just OTK your opponent. Again, target 1 spiral, which means literally Master Plan, Tough, Superagent, and then 2 level 1s. You technically could do Last Resort, but I mean, unless you already have a monster on the field, just to use its effect, I mean, there's no point. Yeah, you're gonna play 2 of this. You used to play 3, but then the deck got a little bit many more cards and consistency. You could play 3 and it'd be fine, but 2 is definitely a safe number. Spiral Gear fully armed, it's an equip as well. Equip only to Superagent. It gains 1,000 attack. If it destroys your opponent's monster by battle, you can banish both the opponent's monster and one of the card your opponent controls. That is ridiculous. It's non-targeting banishment. That is immediately really good. And when this face-up card on the field is destroyed and sent to the grave, you can target 1 Spiral Superagent in your grave and special summon it. This card actually was played at 2 for a little bit before we got some of the new support. I still like playing this card. I played at 1 because it is searchable. It can help OTK. Agent pops a card and it can banish 2 cards. That is ridiculous, and it gains 1,000. You can make Agent go to 49, well 39 with Drone. And this card, so it's ridiculous. But no one's playing it anymore because Big Red's the better of the equipped spells technically. But yeah. Anyway, moving on to Spiral Resort. It's a field spell, obviously. Your opponent cannot target other spiral cards. You control card effects once per turn. You can add 1 spiral monster from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, during your end phase, shuffle one monster from this grave into the deck, or destroy this card. This field spell is probably one of the best field spells we've ever had in this game. It protects your spiral monsters for card effects being targeted, and you get that once per turn add, which means you can, if you have a terraforming or another resort, you can just keep adding them or searching for them and activating them just to search for 2-3 cards. It's kind of ridiculous. And then the end phase effect, the shuffle, really helps with hand traps if you need to recycle your hand traps. It's really good. However, turn 1, if you draw this and have to search, if you can make a link, it's good, but if you can't, well, you're just going to end up getting this destroyed. This just got put to 1 today. In fact, Gofu is no longer playable in this, because Gofu actually just got banned today, and Resort just got put to 1. So I will probably work with a deck list, try to work with a deck, and yeah, work with the deck to make SPYrals good again. Well, competent. One of the first of the 3 traps, we're almost there, everybody. Spiral Gear, Utility Wire. It's literally just like a Phoenix Wind Blast. It just shuffles back into the deck. Well, it places on top of the card of the deck. It's a normal trap that if you control Superagent, Phoenix Wind Blast. So, you can only use this card hard once per turn. I want to make sure that's the right card. Oh yeah, it's Wing Blast, isn't it? I guess we'll just type it. I want to make sure now. Phoenix. Yeah, so it's a Phoenix Wind Blast, but better because you don't have to discard a card. You have to control Superagent, but you're likely to because this deck can spunk him out so many ways. But yeah, it's usually a one-off. They were playing 2 when the start just because it was good, and you only really had Superagent, so you needed all the stuff you can. But yeah, it's a one-off now. Spiral Mission, Rescue. It's a continuous trap. Destroy this card during your 3rd end phase. After activation, once per turn, you can target 1 spiral monster in your grave, return it to the hand. So it gets back stuff like some of the other cards, which is okay. You can banish this card from your grave, then target 1 spiral monster in your grave. Special summon it. You can only control 1 Spiral Mission Rescue. It's not once per turn. It's not a hard once per turn, but you can only control 1 of these. So that kind of balances out, makes it a little fair, because if you could activate 2 of these in 1 turn, oh boy. This deck could have been a lot better than it really was. This card's really good. You're going to only play 1 of these though, because only 1, you can only control 1, and it does last 3 in phases. So that's pretty good. And the last main deck card is Spiral Mission Recapture. This card is actually pretty bad. Mediocre. Yeah, let's read it. It's a continuous. Destroy this card after your 3rd end phase. After activation, once per turn. If a spiral monster is special summoned to your field, except during the damage step. Target 1 monster you control. Take control of it until the end phase, but it cannot attack directly this turn. The spiral monster you control would be destroyed by battle or by card effect. You can banish this card from your grave instead of destroying that monster. It's not the worst. It's the worst of this archetype, but it's not the worst continuous archetype trap. The artwork is kind of cool. You have Spy Gal in it, which she looks so sexy in it. But yeah, other than that, it's not the worst. Its first effect is meh. Its second effect is to protect a spiral monster is actually the best part about it. You would have to Foolish Burial of Goods because you never want to see this in your hand because that's just awful. But yeah, it's pretty okay, but it's probably the worst of the archetype. Anyway, moving on to the 1 link monster. We're almost done, I promise. Spiral Double Helix. It's a link left and link middle down. 1900 attack. It's a Earth Warrior, and it requires 2 spiral monsters. This card's name becomes SPYrals Superagent while it is on the field or in the grave. You can declare one card type, monster, spell, trap, reveal the top card, and if you do, and if the type matches the declared type, take one SPYrals monster from your deck. Superagent. I mean, what's it called? Master Plan. Can't think of the name. Take one SPYrals monster, Master Plan most of the time before the ban list, and from your deck or grave, and add it to your hand or special to your zone. This card points to, which is usually going to be the bottom. If you can only use this effect once per turn. There's a reason why this card was almost 50 bucks at one point. I think it was 60 bucks. There's a reason why this card was really expensive at one point, back before the last ban list. This deck was retarded, and then this came out and just made it insane. So this card is just really good. It's like $2-3 bucks now, so because obviously it's no longer like it's no longer taking like 32 out of 32 spots. But yeah, it's just really good. You have to play at least 2. You can play 3, but you have to play at least 2, just because you will end up with a lot of SPYrals on the field sometimes. And for the cards you can play, my top 5 choices. Well, there's more, but the ban list kind of cut them. In fact, Grinder Golem is now at 1, so this card is probably irrelevant right now for this deck, because you're going to have to sack it like Gofu. Destrudo and the Dragon Ravine. It's a good combo. You can do some really jank crap with this combo. So that's self-explanatory. Or if you don't know, you can look it up. I'm not about to make this video even longer. Sorry. Foolish Barrel Goods to send your SPYrals gear rescue and Salt to the grave to do their graveyard effects. It's not, you don't have to wait a turn, so the moment you send, you have a target for either one of them you can. So yeah, that's really good. You're going to usually play 3 of this if you do play 2 and 1. And then double summon before the ban list, that not these the one, were really good, and so was Machine Dupe. I just forgot about it. But yeah, that is the first episode of Archetype Annals. It's so stupid. That's the first video of Archetype Annals, guys. Thank you for sitting through almost 30 minutes of video. This is what it's going to be like half the time I get that. Oh man, this took a lot of work to record. Like, not even recording, it's just talking about the cards and combos. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. I really am gonna enjoy this series. It's gonna be really annoying because they're gonna be like almost 30-minute videos. I have one more video, possibly 2 more videos today. I'm gonna do like a 5-minute video about Totally Awesome, why its name sucked. And then I might do like, I don't know, it's weird, I've already done it, like, start, like, doing deck reviews of my own. Because I think I'm going to change deck review to deck roasting, because that's what I really did in those 2 videos. So I think I'm going to call deck review, just change it to deck roasting. And then I'm going to do deck review, and just, I'm going to change that name, because I've already got deck review. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Sorry about the long video. Thanks for sticking around. If you made it this long, please leave me a hashtag SPYralsSuck, just because I think that's funny. No. Leave a hashtag RepResort. I really think Resort needed to be hit, but it's kind of sad because I was just about to pick up the deck. Thank goodness it got hit and the ban list came out today. But anyway, I'm rambling on. Thank you for watching, everybody. Peace.